I think for another for me more kwaba Better News TV. So your best source is Saunya subscriber to Better News TV. Mess also be subscriber. No one like no one share. No one turn on notification bell. No. So be update BI be no. On submit me can I make I say comment section was your dear. Mess also believe you comments na bibia akoso one. Nene and some idea bremo fa election your course so sorry. A course so Saturday we na election no. Equal in such a way, say, they were winning Baumia with a vast difference, but Osho Kennedy temporal performance now it was vast good than let's say Baumia being in current government. I don't know, being a vice president, hoping having the masses intention that Papa wait me able pulling up this total number of votes just a while no. It was quite impressive. And there was some discussion via according to the what do you call it? The political analysis no. Almost say Baumia arena election, internal election where ma all man in the crowd the beer da say general election no obetimi awene and enyina so be na this political scientist yina so me pese obeka me ho ne yakwakotie nsem no mu twem ne hwe nyina so no so MPP for will never win 2024 election yebe hu onwene so yebe hu me nkoti na ba de aka bia na yebe som so me nkoti wura.
From 2008, Baumia has been there.
Yes.
So any contest of Nana Addo from 2008 will see Baumia as part of him.
Yes.
So what Baumia has done is nothing new. If there is anybody to fear in the political space, it is simply Kennedy Ohene Japan. And I will tell you one thing.
Tell me.
Kennedy may lose, but he will plan 2028.
He will be 67 then.
Forget about age. Biden is president in US. Age is just a number.
But it will probably depend on the outcome of the election.
I'm telling you today, Baumia will win and lose the general election.
And that's your opinion.
It's going to happen.
Well, that's your
opinion. Put down today's date.
Yeah.
Today
is 4th November.
Yeah, I chance on it. We have 329 days to general election. 399 days. Baumia will win this internal contest, lose the general election. When he loses, the MPP will begin to think properly. And they will begin to find fault. The establishment will collapse. I'm telling you today, anybody who followed MPP politics, anytime MPP goes into opposition, the establishment collapses. Go back to 2007. I was in Legon when Paul Afoko was slapped. I was there, right there, because then I was in MPP. I saw with my eyes, not somebody telling me. At that time, Alan was a dinosaur in the MPP. Alan was untouchable. You could see all the forces, like today, the forces, Marshall against Kennedy and in for Baumia. That forces was for Alan Chamantin in 2007.
I was there, I saw it too.
Fantastic. So that was the time Alan was Alan. You could hear the song. Obi Aranti se wo, Alan Chamantin na yepe. That was the time. And Nana was lucky because people said that, oh, let's reward Nana Addo. Other than that, Alan could have, if they had gone for runoff in 07, Alan would have won. I'm telling you today, if they had gone for runoff in 2007, Alan will have won. Others say, okay, you are older than me. Go and let me follow. And look at what they did to him. So, if the NPP loses 2024, that establishment that collapsed in 2007 against Alan will collapse against Baumia. And that is when Kennedy may have an opportunity. And I'm telling you today, Kennedy will lose. He will not give up. Because he will come again 2027. And at that time, NPP will be organic.
When according to you,
according to me,
would have lost the election in 2024.
Yes,
according to you.
Yes, he will lose 2024. And when he loses, you will not have the advantage of MCEs, DCEs, no CEOs, no ambassadors. So that establishment will collapse against you. And at that time, the party will begin to search for the organic leader. The leader who has been with them 20, 30 years down the lane. And at that time, the rules will not work for Baumia. Because let me tell you today, some of the DCs, ministers, CEOs, appointees of Mahama today, he can't find them around him. After he lost power, Mahama can't find some of them. It's natural. Some of them will go into oblivion. They will hide the money they make. they will hide the contact they make, they will not put it into the political space. So after 2024, some of the ministers you see today, the DCs, the ambassadors, they will go into oblivion. So the party will revert to the organic status of the MPP. That is where Kennedy will be relevant. And let me tell you, Kennedy is going to kick out some of the certain MPs who kick against him.
Well, he said that.
It's going to happen.
He said that.
Kennedy is going to sit down, mobilize money, and he's going to look at the constituency he won against the MPs who stood against him and kick them out.
And I'm looking at the results and some of these constituencies that you mentioned. You know the one that first crossed my mind? The one at Kwesi Minsi.
Okay.
The MP there was Vosivros. I've forgotten his name. I think he's a deputy minister as well.
Right.
Vosivros against Honorable Ken.
Go to Bantama.
He couldn't get the numbers there.
Go to Bantama. And you could see the number. There is an MP, sector minister, yes, Asenso, who stood against Ken publicly. Ken gets 402, but Bawumia gets 422. The implication is that already Bantama, there's a rift. The immediate past MP who died, what is the name? Ochima Bwaje, has a faction.
Yeah.
And that faction is against Asenso.
Yeah.
Kennedy gets in and gets 402, you get 422.
He's coming for you.
He's coming against you. So, the avalanche of the MPs who stood against Ken, he's going to map them and kick them out of parliament.
He has said that publicly.
Now, you go into an election with Ken controlling some of the MPs. So after 2024, Ken will come back stronger. So me, the NDC, we must set up again 2028. For 2024, I will tell you today, the MPP has elected a loose cannon candidate. And look, Mahama got 98% from the NDC.
Yeah.
He got 98%.
Yes.
If you look at the percentage Bawumia is going to get, it will not be close to 70%.
Well, the figures suggest so.
He will get 70%. Ken is pulling. Look,
I've got a few more results coming in. Yeah.
Ken will pull, and Bawumia can make 70%. If Bawumia is unable to make 70%, the implication is that 30% of your people don't like you. Relative to Mahama, who got 98%, meaning that only 2% don't like Mahama. So unlike NDC, who gave Mahama endorsing victory of 98%, Bawumia, you are getting 70%. The implication is that at your own backyard, people don't like you.
Yeah.
And it's a huge number, 30%.
And the NDC will take advantage of that.
We are going to take advantage.
I'm going to come back. I'm going to come back to you, but
you
coming
see,
for her.
You see, as I said earlier, the trend, even from part of the middle belt, it's a clear rejection of Bawumia and the establishment. You understand that? I said earlier on that Kennedy Agyapong, by his temperament, is not a presidential material. But he can be worked on, and he is likely to lead the rebirth of the New Patriotic Party. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because, you see, it is clear that from the trends, the delegates are telling the establishment that we have had enough of you. And a new wind must blow. Yes. The question also is that, in spite of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia appearing to be a weak presidential candidate to face election 2024, it is not yet a done deal for the NDC either.
They need to work.
They need to work. They need to work on a message that will resonate with, the Ghanaian electorate. That is very important.
You are suggesting John Mahama doesn't have a message?
No, I am not saying. No, I'm talking about the NDC.
Yes, but that's John Mahama's party.
Shall I tell you something?
Tell me.
There is an Akan saying, so ni friend is to abuaboa. Rollins will tell you, Abobi Bakawa, or Frantuma. That's the way he put it.
As for he said, no front.
You see, these MPP people saying that they are going to break the 8, it's not an empty boast. It is not an empty boast. With the trends now, the machinery to break the 8 is now going to be shifted to top gear. And it is not going to be a fair election. I cannot say that they are going to win by fair or foul means.
We don't know at this point.
Yes. But if the mantra that they are going to break the 8 is what they are going to march forward with, that they're going to apply foul means.
Well,
That is what it
we can't say that for a fact at this point.
No, you know.
We'll wait till we get there and then we'll see what happens.
I am analyzing the situation. You understand that?
Yes, I do.
I am analyzing the situation.
Yes, I do.
Why I am saying this
Okay.
is some of my friends in the NDC, the communicators, some of them are either immature to handle communications or exuberance is pushing them. Oh, when we come to power, we'll send all of them to prison. When we come to power, we are going to investigate them. When we get, you know, if you listen to one of the lyrics of Kenny Rogers, he says every gambler knows. Every gambler knows that the secret to surviving is knowing what to throw away and knowing what to keep. Yeah? When you sit at the table, you don't count your money. There will be time enough for counting when the deal is done.
Yeah.
These people are in power. They control all the state machinery.
You are saying all these
If you are saying all these things, whatever they will do to
stay.
remain in power, they will do it. That is why I am saying this is not a done deal for the NDC. That the MPP is likely to present a weak presidential candidate.
They have to work harder.
They have to work harder. Vigilance and commitment to vigilance will be what will work the magic for the
And here in
NDC
Africa, when it comes to
come
elections,
2024.
the only country where I hear them holding an election in Africa, where you never see it, not even a single report of someone alleging fraud, is Botswana. Because they have a very small population and very tiny numbers do vote in the election. So nobody ever comes out to say we were cheated.
No,
in Africa, no
you
election
see,
is fair.
it is because Botswana is one of the richest countries per capita.
There's only 2 million people there.
Yes. You understand that? I have been to Botswana. You see, it's, you know, and when you talk about governance, democracy is smooth in that country.
Yeah.
You understand that? There is no way I can compare what happens in Ghana to what happens in Botswana.
Not at all.
You understand that? Rwanda is another country that is coming up. Though they have a benevolent dictator. you understand?
Oh, I like that analysis of Paul Kagame.
Yes. He's a benevolent dictator. And he's working magic for that country. Look, I see Botswana as the Japan of Africa. When Hiroshima and Nagasaki were cleared off the surface of the earth, that Japan rose from the ashes. Look at what happened in Rwanda.
You mean Rwanda?
Yes, I was in Rwanda. During the Gunbath thing, I was in Rwanda. And that country rising from the ashes now, wow.
They look beautiful. Okay, I'm getting a few more results coming in.
I side with him. I did linguistics in my first degree, and we learned that in communication, meanings are in people. They are not in words. So somebody can tell you, excuse my language, you are foolish. Another person can say shamefully, but one could mean a joke, one could mean an insult.
Yeah.
So at times the messenger is key.
Yeah.
The messenger to a critical message is key. And election 2024, in my candidate, will be won on strategy. And I'm seeing a certain trend. Have you gotten results from the northern regions? I'm not talking about northern regional, not the northern regions.
Well, we've got a number.
Good.
Yeah, number.
Now look at Upper West, Upper East, Northern Region, Savannah, Northeast.
Yes, we have quite a number at this point.
Now, I'm opening your mind to something.
We started that conversation.
Dr.
before you
Bawumia
came
wins, and he gets 90% plus in most of them.
here. Yeah,
Check
quite
the
a
trend.
number. Yeah.
A number.
A few, he got 100.
100, good, thank you. Mr. Seb, what it means is that
he got 100% in two.
In two.
Yagaba Kubori and
Thank you.
Nkurugu.
That's
you
right.
go 100% in two.
Yeah.
However, though JDM is flag bearer, he doesn't get 100% in the NDC internal primaries.
Your point is?
My point is that the northern base of the MPP, they've upheld him. I repeat, JDM wins is a flag bearer. He comes from the northern part of the country.
Yes.
The same regions I have mentioned. But he doesn't get 100% in any of them. Bawumia comes, and within the MPP, he garnered 100% in two. And the others, even that he lost marginally. What I should tell you that in the base of Bawumia, he's been upheld more than Mahama in the north. Maybe you are not getting the...
I'm following.
Do you get the drift?
Yeah, I'm following the trajectory.
You have two northern pillars, one for NDC, one for MPP. Mahama comes from the north. Within the NDC, he doesn't win by this landslide vote, but he's the flag bearer of the NDC. Bawumia wins in the MPP, and he even gets 100% in some of the constituency. What I'm telling you that the base of the MPP in the north, they've upheld him. Now let me relate that to the national election. Now, the MPP uses Pareto in every election, Pareto principle. And the Pareto principle, the fewer the merrier. So out of the 16 regions, the MPP focuses on Ashanti and Eastern because...
That's where the numbers are.
Exactly. Ashanti has...
And Greater Accra.
No, that's a swing region.
But when you get numbers in Greater Accra,
Wait,
you're good.
It's a swing region. Wait and get my analysis.
Sure.
The MPP uses Pareto principle in every election since 1992. What does the Pareto says? Pareto says focus on the few that can give you much. So in Pareto principle, a focus on 20% can give you 80%
Yes.
results. So therefore, Ashanti has 47 constituency. Eastern has 33. Combination 80 constituency. Now, if you put much resources in this 80 constituency, the result you Ghana can cancel 14 regions in Ghana.
Yes.
In election 2020, the vote outcome from Ashanti region for the MPP alone cancelled 9 regions of the NDC.
Yes.
Now, here is the case, the MPP by default, if they don't even campaign Ashanti, they will win. If the MPP doesn't campaign in Ashanti and say that, okay, Bawumia, you are our candidate, go to bed, Ashantis will vote for Bawumia. Let's take Ashanti, Eastern region. Eastern, because of the Krobo sense and dynamism, is not that all out for the MPP.
Yes.
But come what may that, Eastern region always fall for the
26
MPP.
of these seats. will
Fantastic.
vote for it. Yeah.
Down.
It's only the Ilo Krobo area and
So-
then Lower West Achim.
So in the
Lower
Pareto,
Manya
Lower
and
Manya,
the Sujaman.
so in the Pareto, they have advantage over Ashanti, over Eastern. Now the northern region that I mentioned, I intentionally mentioned the northern for a reason. It's always been controlled by the NDC. Check the outcome of results since 2000 when they put Bawumia forward. The NDC do win, but at the declining rate.
Yeah.
For the past 2 elections, the NDC has fallen in voter by 6%. The NPP has gone up by 10% in the northern regions. That is statistical. You can't contest
Yeah.
it. Now, the reason is that if the NPP has Ashanti and Eastern already in the basket, and they are coming to the northern region, they have a candidate there for the past 2 elections. 2016, 2020, the popular vote of the NPP has gone up by 10%.
Yeah.
The popular vote of the NDC in voter has gone down by 6%. So if you find the net difference, it's 4%. The reason is that Bawumia could be strategic and say that, okay, Machopoku, Perempe, Dr. Duchim, whatever, focus on Ashanti and Eastern. I'm taking the northern regions.
Yeah.
And if the NDC, we are not careful, Samia Oku said one thing on Metro TV about 3 weeks ago that the MPP will win 2024 by strategy, and the NDC will not understand. So when I sit back and I look at the Pareto approach against the fact that Bawumia got good results in the northern regions, we need to sit up. Especially when the past 2 elections, 2016, 2020, the nominal vote of the NPP keeps going up relative to voter region.
As a result of the candidacy
Of the candidates. Because 92, we saw the vote from the north. 96, we saw it. 2000, we saw it.
In fact, as of 1996, the MPP had only 2 seats
Fantastic.
in the 3 northern regions. The old Gupegu Sabunjida constituency and Yendi.
Yes.
That was it.
Now, if you look at the establishment, in the year election 2008, President Kufuor wanted to hand over to anybody. He didn't care whether it was Professor Mills or Nanado.
Yeah.
All he cared was that Ghanaians vote for a leader, I hand over to him. Election 2024, you have a president who says that I want to hand over to my own. So the dynamism in 208, that push Kufuor to hand over to Mills as easy as people thought, you are not finding the same in 2024.
That's right.
Because you have a certain president who is power conscious, who feels that whatever Kufuor could not do, I'm in to do for the MPP. So the vote coming from the northern regions, Upper West, Upper East, North Region, Savannah, and Northeast, scares me as a member of the NDC. It scares me because Bawumia vote is being consolidated. And the northern people, they've spoken that we want our own. So you are going to have a clash of the titans. You're going to have Bawumia for the MPP, Mahama for us in the NDC. And the northern base of the MPP says that Bawumia is our own. Mahama is our own. So you are going to have a split of kind of allegiance and loyalty. So unlike the first, where the northern region was a block for the NDC, election 2024, we may not have same. We may not have same because from 2016, 2008, 2012, 2016, 2020, the vote outcome of the MPP keeps increasing. Appreciating relative to voter in Oti region. Unlike Oti region, though NDC keeps winning, but at a declining rate.
Because MPP is making inroads in your figures.
So why the MPP is making inroads, that is resulting in 6% downward trend for the NDC. In the north, they are upping it by 10%. And if you do trend analysis, we in the NDC must be careful.
That's why I was saying that it's not a done deal for the NDC.
So they need to work hard.
They need to
I've
work
got two more constituencies that are coming in. Tema West here. They were split into two, so Tema West 8.
You see, because of the fact that it is the establishment that is propping him. You see the point? There are some people within the establishment who want, Bawumia to remain in power at all costs.
Of course.
You understand that? So that whatever benefits they are getting,
They continue to get. Which happens everywhere.
But you see, it is not. It is not a flagrant violation of common sense, where everything inures to your, financial benefit, your economic benefit. How about the mass of the people? You understand what I'm saying? For example, there is this Japadia thing that is making the rounds. And the authors of that particular thing have not denied it. And it's frightening for this country. Because if an ethnic group will say that they have never lost a war back in the day before the colonial masters came, they had never lost any fratricidal wars. So it now is the time for them to assert their kingdom in this country. And every, financial benefits will have to come to them. Crumbs can be given to the other ethnic groups so that they are not...
I'll come back to you again and my other guest in the studio as well.
In the swing region, Kennedy got 39%. And what are the swing regions? Greater Accra, Central, Western, the regions. And you could realize that in all the swing region, Ken is winning. And if you are going into any major election and you do better in swing region, it's a sign of victory.
That's right.
Clearly. So if you look at the data here, MPP raised in the swing regions. Overall, Ken got 39%, Mahmoud Bawumia got 38%, Adenimu 2%, Afiye 2%, undecided 19%, and in this undecided, about 80% were Alan supporters. So majority of the Alan supporters today transferred their vote
gravitate towards Ken.
To Ken.
I'm just imagining how all of this would have played out if Alan was still a part.
Let me tell you today, Ken originally was not coming in for the race. He fell sick at a point and went to the US for some surgery. You remember?
Yes.
In that surgery, at that time he was in the camp of Alan. I know that for a fact. For a fact. Now, Ken was expecting Alan to pay him a visit. That did not happen. Alan delegated 3 guys that I know them personally to pay Ken a visit. So when Ken recovered and came back, he felt that Alan didn't treat him well. So the show off between him and Alan started off. So Ken came in as more like a payback to Alan. In fact, Ken did not come in to win. Let's get it straight from today. Ken just came in as more like, oh, I'm close with you. I fell sick. Even outsiders travel all the way to US to have a look at me. You didn't show up. Rather, you delegated people to come. I'll contest and let you lose. So Ken did not come in with the mindset to win. However, when Ken stepped into the race, he's a grassroots leader. And whether you like it or yes, he's now more like an institution in the MPP.
Yeah.
So the grassroots saw in Alan more like a quiet personality, somebody that when you follow him and things happen, he doesn't reciprocate. They drifted towards Ken. What gingered Ken more was him placing second in the super delegate election. And he felt that if within a year I could come past Alan, who has dreamt to become president since 1998, then I need to push hard. Then you realize that there were a lot of business people in the MPP who were not happy. So Ken campaign was first moved by the CEO of Cocoa PBC, Alfred Anye. So Alfred Anye mobilized business community in MPP to throw their support behind Ken. And that meeting gave the trailblazer. So for me, Ken originally was not to go this far. Like Donald Trump. Donald Trump, when he started the American...
Yeah, nobody was expecting him to go that far.
I was in US at that time. I was going for this Mandela Washington Fellowship. And in fact, in my institute, out of 50 fellows, I was the only one for Donald Trump. I went to Trump more like a rally, rally in Virginia. And when in Pennsylvania, I said that Trump was going to win. You know why? He was speaking the language of the masses. And when Trump was speaking, the blacks were not liking him, but the whites were dying for Trump.
And they have the numbers.
And I said that, look, Trump was going to win. And don't forget that the U.S. system is not like Ghana.
Yes.
You win by certain proportionate and stuff. And
That's
when
right.
they put together, Trump won. When he won
you need 270 from the electoral.
From the electoral college. Exactly.
When Trump won, then this CNN, VOA started running him down. He's not presidential material. And
But he had already won.
And I told my guy that, look, this guy will win over Clinton or whoever the Democrat present. Now, going forward, if you look at this data, and with all honesty, if you look at the 2024 version of the research report, it pegged Mahama against Bawumia, etc. If you look at the general election, assume if election were held today, and Mahama is pegged alongside Bawumia.
That's 45.9.
Mahama get 45, Bawumia get 35, and the undecided is 6.3. So Mr. Segbefia made a point that we need a clear-cut communication strategy. Because you have Mahama...
We as in the NDC?
Yeah, I'm a member of the NDC, so
okay.
I agree. I might agree more than what he said. Okay. The reason is that I'm using the data by the MPP primaries as a case study. Anything said by Global Info has come to pass as of today.
Yes.
Now let's come to the general election. In the same report, it says that if the NDC puts Mahama forward, he garners 45.9, Bawumia gets 31.3. Undecided, Alan gets 10.8 because of the Ashanti factor. And the middle class, I can tell you, if you put Mahama, Bawumia, Alan there, and you put 100 people to middle class to vote for them, 50% to go for Alan. Because they've tested Mahama before, but they don't tested Alan. So Alan vote is 10.8. Look at the undecided, 6.3. And all the other candidates are the Chirabosom and the rest put together is around, hoping around 2%. So my fear is that if we don't work hard as NDC and think that is a foregone conclusion, the 2024 election may go into runoff. Because the data here says that if Alan is able to garner 10.8 and Bawumia garner 31.3%, Mahama is getting 45.9%. Assuming if the MPP present Bawumia, if nothing changes, and Alan popularity is consolidated, that is the data we are going to have.
2023, you go and queue to vote and you mess the ballot paper up.
And you are a delegate.
You spend your time to queue and you can't put your thumbprints where you're supposed to vote in 2023. I can't believe there are rejected ballots or spoiled ballots in an election in
Maybe what we need to do is, info analytics and all those things. They should, what goes into people not voting properly?
I can give you one answer. When you take from here and take from here, you spoil the vote.
Oh, that is okay. That then it means if you are working, if your conscience, if you vote according to your conscience, then it could be deliberate.
Yes, deliberate. Some do deliberately. It's intentional. Because I've been into election in some instances, they will take from the left, take from the right.
I know.
So whom do I give you to?
Okay, this
Let's
one
make
is
it a spoiled
close.
balance.
This one is
Then you don't show up at all.
This one is probably the closest I have seen all afternoon in the election. The results coming in from Adenta.
Okay.
This is probably the closest I have seen. Now check this out. Kennedy Japan 728. Pay attention to the figure. Kennedy Japan 728. 27. For Dr. Bawumia. This is unbelievable.
You see, Greater Accra being a swing region, so to speak, and the votes are close like this. I mean, it's a clear indication that the delegates are against the establishment.
Straight. It's more than half.
It's a message, yes.
Okay, so I've got another one that you would want to hear. Okay. And you would want to hear for the reasons we discussed Bumprugu and Yagaba Kubori.
Okay.
The reasons we discussed that one. In Nalerigu.
Okay.
That's the vice president's constituency. A total of 915 people voted. 915.
Yes.
915 people voted.
Yes.
So pay attention to this. DMB 915.
So 0 for 10.
I don't have to say.
So we have 3 constituencies that have given him 100%.
100%, straight up.
Okay, so let's flip and go back to Ken.
Ken has never won anywhere 100%.
No, I'm making a case.
Okay.
Can you flip and get out the data for Ken Balletka constituency, Asin Central?
Okay, so Ken won all the 3 Asins.
Yes, but get us Asin Central.
Okay, I would have to,
Asin Central was quite close to.
He won by about 16 votes.
Yeah, exactly.
So you see, this corroborates the point I made that the northern set of the MPP, they've made a sound voice that we are for our own. We are for our own. In as much as Ken is winning Central Region, and in terms of the figures are cancelling the northern regional figures. You can see clearly that the northern part of Ghana, they've spoken loud. And the voice is clear that this is our own, this is our umbilical cord. We will not cut it off. And that is where, as a member of the NDC, we need to have key campaign team managers for the northern part of Ghana. We need to do a retail campaign. We need to find people who can diagnose and get at the solution.
Not a wholesale campaign.
No. See, we must not let it be like there's economic hardship, people are pathetic, Dr. Bawumia has lost credibility. Let me tell you, on the day of election, I've gone into an election before that, people come to the pool, they carry their voters' ID card, give me money to vote. General election. There is not like a primary, there is not like electoral college. This is a general election. People buy themselves like there are about 50, 20 people. They say that, give us 50 cedi each to vote for you.
And if you can't get for them?
We're not going to vote for you.
And they don't?
They won't. They won't. So
how can I possibly, if there are about 20,000 voters in the constituency, how can I possibly give everybody?
Somebody can budget and do that.
If there are 20,000 people, that's
somebody can do that.
Ghana
Look,
city. Where do you politicians get your money from?
Listen to the voice of the MP for Bibiani Anyaso.
Oh, that man he was selling textbooks many years ago. I've forgotten his name.
Hold on. Put textbook aside, put business aside. He said that I have hoarded money.
From where?
Stashed money.
He said he had dollars.
He has dollars.
I heard that.
This person, if he wins his primaries, he can pay 100 Ghana to each voter in his constituency, and he doesn't give a heck.
No, just even look at what we are hearing today.
Okay.
Now, Team Bawumia is giving every...
Allegedly.
No, because some people were speaking.
I don't know that for
when I was coming...
I heard that.
Yes.
In fact, I heard that as yesterday.
Exactly.
So but I don't have...
So
No. Yeah. Yesterday, they were calling people from the voters list, the album. And they were sending 2,000 CDs. That's different by Momo. Today, people are taking 400, So assuming, let's make a rough estimate that okay, 200 delegates.
You know, yesterday when I had a 300, I did a calculation last night when I had that. So 300 by even 200,000. That's 60 million Ghana cedi.
Look, you know,
that's about $5 million.
Exactly. If I have that money, I won't go into politics. I will establish a cottage industry and employ people.
Yeah.
Do you know how toxic politicking in this country can be? So, if, for example, Bawumia's team has about 80 million, this one we are talking about 400 per delegate. Rough estimate, 200,000 delegates. You are talking about 80 million. If I have 80 million Ghana cedis, I will not go into politics. As I said, I will set up a cottage industry, employ people, employ the youth, and empower them.
Some of the figures are mind-boggling.
You see the point.
I've got a few more.
So what it means is that people we are electing into, offices are milking this country.
Okay. I have heard that many times before, whether it's Ben's party or whether it's MPP. All of you just milk us. But what that means is that they have the figures. He doesn't put the figures there, but what that means is that they have the figures. And so if this is coming from the aid of Dr. Bawumia, then they have the figures.
So Kwame, let's analyze the context and content of that statement.
Yeah.
You see,
Mensah has made history. Yes. What does that mean?
He's won.
Good. All that the MPP sought to do was to de-arcanize the party. And I will explain here. Many people, and even Nana Ado's own statement in the past, gave the indication that the MPP is for accounts. Now, the MPP did the research and realized that, okay, going to election 2024, are we going to repeat the mistakes of 2008, whereby Aliu Mahama was the mate to former President Kufuor, and instead of former President Kufuor handing over the baton to Aliu Mahama, Nana Ado came from nowhere and swept the baton. Now, Ghanaians or the northern part of Ghana punish us for not giving the baton to Aliu Mahama. In 2024, what then must we do? Let's find a way to de-arcanize the MPP. So if Bawumia has made history, it may not reflect in the general election. You can win a war and lose the battle. And you can also lose a battle and win a war. There are two things. So the MPP can decide to win internal battle, but lose the war. And you are going for a war. And in the war that you are going for, you're going to face a political party, like that's the NDC, who has had a candidate who has been president before, come back on 2 occasions, has learned his mistakes, has polished certain things up. And in my candid view, without any prejudice to anybody, the most experienced politician currently in Ghana is Mahama. Because I am yet to see any person in Ghana who will be president, go back and come again, lose election 2 times, and so on to come the 3rd time. So in terms of experience, if you are going to do neck for neck, pound for pound, you can win the battle within and lose the war. So yes, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has made history. And the only history they want to say that he has come to de-arcanize the MPP by the establishment. And this thing they are pushing for, look, you are winning in some areas, you are losing in some areas. But when Mahama was winning in the NDC internal primaries, he won across board. And that should tell you, there's a report in the Global Info Analytics that say that if you take Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and you put 100 MPP people, about 17% will not vote for him. 17% are saying that we won't vote for you. But if you put Mahama, only 3% and they say will not vote for you. So that means that even your core support base, you are declining. So yes, you can make history. You can win the battle and Kwame and lose the war.
He's made history, but maybe he's not made it convincingly.
And you see today, look, anytime Mahama is going on a tour, visiting communities, meeting people, you can see the euphoria from the party people. It's ubiquitous. It is not as if some people are disgruntled to the extreme. I agree that Dr. Dufour wanted to show up, Kojo Bones wanted to show up, though they could not win, but you can see the unity today. Today, because of you, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, Alan is gone. He's found the Butterfly Party. So though you have won the battle within your party, but you've created division. We cannot say the same for the NDC. After the victory of Mahama, everybody is coming on board. And that is a sign that it was an emphatic victory. It's a victory that is unifying. So today, Dr. Kwabena Dufour is campaigning for Mahama everywhere. Kojo Bonsu is doing his bit, and everybody who matters is doing his bit. Can we say same for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia? I'm yet to see that. How are they going to reunite? Look at the insinuation they cast on each other. Someone said that, oh, allegedly your aide who died some years back, you have a hand in his killing. Somebody said that you, Kennedy Japan,
they are arming you guys.
That is why I'm saying that thing he posted on his Facebook is something we must dissect. And when you analyze it critically, it is against Dr. Mongbo. You can win a battle and lose the war.
You see,
and I'm happy he won.
You know, Kwame, let me state something here. You know, I think three days ago, all the contestants were made to sign a certain.
I have my own issues with that.
Understanding that whatever the result, none of you accept it. None of you should resign from the party and all that kind of thing.
Is it to suggest that the thought process is somebody would leave?
You know, when I read the whole thing, I said, look. These people have lost the script. Why have they lost the script? A political party is not cast in stone. It's an organization people can join freely and live freely.
Yeah.
So why make people sign undertaking that they are not going to resign?
Well, they signed.
It's, as far as I'm concerned, it's a knee-jerk, panic-driven action. Because they appreciate the enormity of Alan leaving the MPP.
Yes. That's what you said.
Yes. And they don't want the cracks to deepen. You understand that? But you don't go and sign document. Because if one, assuming one of the losers also decides to resign, are they going to take him to court because he has signed an undertaking? No. You understand that? They themselves, they know what they have done to the NPP. They know what they have done to their party. As I said earlier on, I have a lot of friends in the NPP. I have a lot of friends in all the political parties. And, you know, there are times people within their ranks. Huh? I spoke earlier on about Kennedy Agyapong's temperament. You know, I spoke to somebody about this. And the person told me, compare temperament of Kennedy Agyapong to Nana Akufo-Addo, President of the Republic of Ghana. Kennedy Agyapong is a gentleman. That Nana Addo has a more explosive temper than
maybe on a private
Kennedy.
level. He's not shown it publicly.
He's not shown it publicly. But people close to him, they know this. They know it. In cabinet, he explodes even in cabinet. You know, you see, so
CEOs would explode once in a while in a cabinet meeting, in a board meeting. CEOs may explode.
There is a saying in my language.
If you can translate for us.
Do you know what that means?
Okay, an elderly person in the house does not frown the face.
The frown should not be seen in your face. Okay, because it's a sign of weakness for you to show emotions.
Yeah, that's why they say, well, chiefs don't cry in public.
Exactly. You see the point? You see? So people close even to the presidency. They will confide in you and tell you, look, the man needs to work on his temper. You don't know who to talk to them. So
I'm seeing a lot of very close people to Dr. Bawumia stating that he's won.
October edition of the Global Info Analytics Report. It talks about JDM versus DMD, that's Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia versus Alan, on party affiliation. And there is something intriguing. If you put Mahama forward for election 2024, 91% of NDC people say will vote for Mahama. 91. barring or holding all condition constant. If you come to the MPP, if the MPP were to put for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, 65% says we vote for you, and the whooping 35% says no. Now, this should tell you that even the support base of the NPP has a question mark on him. This is huge. So, yes, you can win a battle and lose a war. And this corroborate my position that you can win today and jubilate. But going forward, what signal does it present to the outside world?